What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Champion Living podcast, the only podcast crossing the lines between the sport of rodeo and fitness. Today, we are talking about all the steps of building your home gym, whether that's in a garage or basement, living room. We got you covered. We're diving in right now. What's been going on with you guys? Anything new?
No.
Don't let me throw you off here, Paul. Yesterday, you were like, I don't know what I've been doing.
Got some new soreness. Started a new training block, so.
Did you? What are you doing?
Feeling it in a different way. So I went with a time consolidated, still Olympic lifting focused, and trying to just eke out the most strength I can in the places where I'm lacking. So yeah, like my upper back is like super tight.
Yeah.
Wanting me to just die here, but
is that where you're weak?
It's been good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you feeling that on your like pulls on your snatch and your cleans and stuff, or overhead?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Like yesterday was like yesterday was like a mix of both. It was all overhead presses, jerks, and Pendlay rows, and the day before that was like back squats and like 3-position snatches, like a ton of them. So
when you say
basically I'm doing like 3 lifts per workout, but I'm like hammering those lifts.
Are you EMOMing them, or like how are you setting a timer to keep yourself on track with time, since you said you're kind of wanting to do time consolidated? Or
no, it's more like
just only doing 3 exercises.
Yeah, like 5 sets of 2 or 3 sets of 10, and just keeping them, rest like
simple
2 minutes between, and super easy, like not a lot of accessory work.
Sweet. I did something similar to that not too long ago. I did a bench, squat, deadlift type program where I was literally in and out of there in, 40-45 minutes, and it was awesome. But after about 8 weeks of it, I really was hurting because I wasn't doing my accessory work with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would definitely throw in accessory a couple weeks in, you know what I mean? Or like on a recovery day, because it fucked me up for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. Like I've had to get back to kind of just doing only that for a bit.
I didn't really look, but I think today is supposed to be like some type of, I don't know if it's more conditioning based. I know it's a circuit, but I haven't really looked and see if it's like accessory work or if it's.
Your coach is writing this for you?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. He's an OPEX.
So it's kind of like
right?
one day off. Yeah. He's OPEX. And
does he ever do like the mixed modal type stuff where it's like A, B, C, D, E, and then it's like A, E, D, C, B, and then he'll mix the whole order up for 5 rounds, and you have to try and repeat the same time each time you go through it? I really, really enjoyed that when I was going through those kinds of when I had my coach for that. It was it's fun.
It's a little stickier now, like with the garage gym, because I don't have all of the stuff, but it'll be like burpee over bars and step ups and deficit push-ups or something like that, and then but like when I was working out in a gym, I could do like air bike, GHD stuff. Like there was a little bit more options, I guess. But with the at-home gym, I've got what I got, and so it's like you got to get creative with what you have. So
absolutely, man. I've been so busy here at the house, and getting away to the gym has just not been an option. So I've been down in the basement in my old Dexter's laboratory down there, just feeling creeped out and getting pumped every morning. I swear when I go down there in the morning, I'm like, this place is just eerie, man. It's just, I think it's the unfinishedness of it, but I'm just like, all right, just get going. No one's going to jump out of here. Dogs are down here. They'll alert you. But I've been getting after it down there, and it's a little different not having all the equipment, but like we were talking about on the last episode, I've got tons of resistance bands. I do have a barbell with some plates. I have adjustable dumbbells, which I love. I think if you are going to invest in any kind of resistance training equipment, those are probably your number one.
That's my next investment. I don't
Dude,
have
just
any
so
yet.
much bang for the buck. You spend like, I forgot what these ones were. They're not anything. They're Nordic Tracks. So like the old company that used to do the skiing thing.
Yeah.
I want to say I paid $400 for them, and it's all the way from 5 to 55, and they go up in 2.5 pound increments. So you can, on one dumbbell, takes up no space, and then you go look at a full rack of dumbbells. Which, if you have a full gym and you want that, sure, but that's $1,000. Yeah, so third of the cost, and getting to, again, you can't like drop these dumbbells or anything. You are limited as to kind of what you can do with them on an intensity scale. So you can't really like CrossFit with them or anything like that. But for a dude just doing, or a girl doing some functional bodybuilding, they're badass. And especially if you're on the road and you have a little bit of space in the truck or the car, they're outstanding. And on that note, the Rodeo Essentials kit that we have through GetRx is the bee's knees when it comes to like on the road equipment and being what's the word, space
Compact.
thoughtful. There we go. Yeah.
You can easily throw that stuff in the rig.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. Logan is having a bunch of his athletes kind of pick it up this week so they could get started on their summer run. You want to kind of fill in on, I don't know if we've talked about it yet on here, about what's in that package or whatnot. We can drop our discount code too.
Yeah, it's super customizable, which is the cool part, because a lot of guys already have maybe some things, maybe they already have some bands or whatever, but essentially, like Paul and I have kind of been like just experimenting with a different, it's not new, but a different style of in-season training for our guys. And so with that being said, they needed just a little bit of equipment. Typically our in-season stuff is just going to look like body weight and bands, which is totally fine. But this just needs like a 20-pound slam ball and then one kettlebell, like a typically, roughly 25, 30, 35-pound kettlebell. And so we've been, kind of playing with this, and I thought, well, what about, GetRx? They've been really good with us, and maybe we could set up some sort of partnership. And so you reached out, and they just jumped on it. And so you can totally go on the website, and you can select. They've got options for kettlebells. I think they've got an option for a slam ball, and then they've got options for the big looped bands, like super bands, like we talked about the other day. And then there's an option for bands. For some of the like glute activation bands, the smaller ones, and you just order them individually, so you can pick which ones you want, which ones you don't want, whatever. And they throw it all together for you in a package and ship it out. And so I texted it out to probably a dozen or maybe 15 of my athletes this week, and was just like, hey, like, just letting you guys know, this is kind of coming down the pipe once you leave for Reno and stuff. This is kind of what the summer's going to look like. When you're in your rig and not flying, this is kind of what it'll look like, and this is some stuff we need, and this is a great place to be able to get it. So anyway, it's really cool. Champion 10, right? Is the code?
Yeah, Champion 10, capital C on that, I believe. And it's getrx.com, GETRXD as in dog.com. We'll put that all in the show notes here. But you can go right on their website and just type in Rodeo into search, and it'll pull up the Rodeo Essentials package. And Logan said, it's all a la carte. So you don't have to buy the entire package. You just can pick what you like. And if you don't have any of it, I think that's a great place to start, that you can with equipment that's really versatile. You can use it anywhere, and you can do a lot of different things with it, which is cool. It takes up really no space. So if you're a rodeo athlete or someone who's on the road a lot, check it out. Rodeo Essentials package at getrx.com. You can use our discount code Champion10, capital C, going to save you 10%. Dude, when you're talking about equipment, 10% discounts pretty big. So I would enjoy that. Use it, guys. They are down in Houston as well. So if you want to go down to their shop, you can go check out their full facility and all the cool things they have. And obviously, it's not just limited to the Rodeo Essentials package. Anything on their website, you can use our discount code for, and you can find anything and everything you need for a gym right there.
We geeked out in that place at Rodeo Houston.
Dude. Yeah, they got some cool new racks coming down that are like, for a home gym, they would be legit, because they have all the attachments that you could possibly imagine on one small rig.
Landmines, cables, pull up bars, squat racks. It all comes on one deal, and the space that they got it in blew me away. It wasn't this had to be, it wasn't this huge thing that you think would have to be in a full gym. It was easily could fit in a
it would
garage.
fit in it. Yeah, for sure. That was my first thought. I was like, holy smokes, like I need this thing.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, like like for the rack that I have, like they make a cable attachment for that, but like it's got to sit in the center so that it doesn't make, it's not all uneven and stuff. But like theirs, they had kind of the crossover cable. Like they had the one on each side with the stacks, and it's like, man, like that's so versatile for such a compact space. I was super jealous. I want one.
I want one.
Yeah.
I need one. Yeah, check them out, guys. GetRx.com. They're awesome. And if you're overseas too, they ship overseas. They have suppliers everywhere, which is something I think is really cool because our listeners are definitely expanding beyond the US now. So anyone in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, they ship there as well. Okay. I don't know how to say that in all those languages, but you get it.
That's funny.
Dudes, today we're actually talking about how to build a home gym and how to put one together. So that kind of transitioned well. I think we should kind of jump into it as we're rolling with it and chat about, I think there's a lot of things that are pretty obvious about what's going to go into your home gym, but I think there's some things that maybe you don't think about that some folks that have had gyms before trial and errored, aka me, and I'm like, oh damn, I really wish I would have had this or that. So we're gonna catch up on all that and kind of go through what we think the best things are to look for when creating a home gym, and like I said, some of those things that you maybe haven't thought about. Paul, actually, we all have home gyms now, and your guys' are way nicer than mine. So I'm gonna let you guys talk the whole time. I've never built a really badass home gym for myself, only for clients. And then my CrossFit gym, I'm not gonna lie, was pretty bitching, but I haven't been able to build my own home gym until this next time. So whenever we get to Montana, I'm gonna finally get the opportunity to kind of deck something out that's all mine and make it the home gym that I wanted. But what are first things? What do you think about, or what are important to consider when making a home gym?
Yeah, I think first you need to know like what your goal is, because there's so much different equipment that you could include in a home gym. And if you just go out and buy, everything off of Rogue or GetRx website, like you may overspend, if that makes sense. Because there's so much out there, and it can get expensive. Like if you're outfitting an entire gym, like, if you go into a commercial gym and you try and just replicate everything that they have, like it's gonna get pretty pricey. And so I think one of the first things is like, know what you want out of it. Know what you're going to have time for, know what you're and I think, especially if you're focused more on hypertrophy, or you're just trying to move, or if you are wanting to build strength, like those are all going to probably require something different. And so you don't need as much as your eyes probably want. So you pull up their website on GetRx and you're like, oh, I want this and I want that and I want this, and it's like, oh, you probably don't have all that stuff. Like, yeah, there's still things out there that I want to add to my gym, but I don't need them right now.
Right.
And so, with my current goals in mind, like there's really just a few things that I need, and I don't have to step out on a limb and spend more money than I absolutely have to. But
I think it's important to keep in mind what you enjoy too. So what happens, we see all the time, is like people will spend thousands of dollars on home gym equipment they've never really worked out before, but now this is going to be the thing. I just don't have time for the gym, so they'll go, like you said, they'll shop with their eyes, they'll overspend, they'll buy a bunch of stuff, and they don't enjoy really working out. They don't enjoy any part of it. And so what happens is that gym equipment, how many clients have you talked to that are like, well, I got a Bowflex, it's covered in about 4 inches of dust, and so we have this home gym equipment for things that we don't enjoy. And so thinking about, like, if you have training experience, what have you enjoyed in the past? Is it more cardio based? Is it more lifting based? Because those would be the things that you would want to start accumulating. Because if it's not, at least moderately enjoyable some of the time, the odds of you staying consistent are very, very slim. And then once you know what you, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the things that that generally sit there and collect dust are a Bowflex, an assault bike, and a treadmill.
Yeah.
And an elliptical.
I've got an assault bike sitting here collecting dust right now. It's very useful for taking my shirt off and hanging it up when I'm not using it. It's a great hanger.
But that's those things that like people see them in a gym and they think they need it, or they think, hey, this fits in my space. Like I'll just add this. But maybe they're trying to get stronger, and a Bowflex and cardio equipment is not necessarily going to help them get any closer to that goal, because a Bowflex is a lot of isolation movements, and you're stuck to rigid positions. You can't really move about the machine. You're kind of limited to the exercises that it can provide to you.
Isn't that the thing on the wheels on your back, like you're on your back or whatever? In the cable.
This is like this is like
that's the Total Gym. That's the Chuck Norris one.
The Chuck Norris one. If you want to karate chop a grizzly bear, you get the Total Gym. If you just want to,
hey man, that guy's still thriving. Just an FYI.
What 100% he is, dude. If I can be in that shape at his age, I will totally be happy. However, the Bowflex is the deal that has those like flexible cables that look like fishing rods, and you like pull the deal, and there's different ones for different resistance, and a great tool. It's another tool that can be used. It's not like it's I think bad, but they're just different
all
tools.
This is like about knowing yourself and your discipline levels.
Yes,
really. Because doing things you like for sure is important, and those should be the first things that you get for your gym. But I think an assault bike and a treadmill are very useful tools. But if you're someone that for damn sure that unless my coach is there in my face telling me to get on this, I am not doing it. You're probably wasting your money, right? Yeah. So I think figuring out, again, what your goals are. You got, like you guys were saying, if your goal is to get strong and big, you probably don't want to go buy a bunch of cardio equipment. It'd probably be more beneficial to buy some resistance training equipment, a rack, some dumbbells, barbells, free weights, whatever. And if you are wanting to run a marathon, you're probably better off getting a little resistance training equipment still, but also mix in half your budget for probably some kind of cardio training. That being said, if you don't have any money constraints and want to go just ball out and get a full gym, go for it. Do whatever you want to do there.
Yeah, and then invite me over.
Yes, please. Let's go work out with you. Let's go work out. And awesome. If you are on a budget, I think, like we were saying, just pick things that you're going to use. And again, you don't have to not go to a regular gym to start on a little home gym, right? I think that going to a regular gym is really feasible for most people 3 times a week if they can really be disciplined about it. Those other 2 times a week, you can definitely be doing some kind of mobility or band work at home, a little area just to get moving, and just have that area where you can separate yourself and go put in a little work on yourself for 20 or 30 minutes. So, whatever it is, whatever your goals are, just put those in line and even write them out. Like, why am I buying this gym? Why am I getting this equipment? What are my goals with it? Okay, have it listed out. Is this going to help me reach my goals, or are these things going to get me there?
I couldn't agree more.
I think that's important, because I bet I would be willing to bet that most people don't go out and just purchase all of the equipment right up front. And like maybe that's going to be a good option for you moving into a new house, because you'll have a new space, you'll have a new stuff. Like you might be the person that outfits their entire gym at once. But like all of my stuff has been accumulated over 3 or 4 years. Like it started with bands, and then I bought one kettlebell, and then I bought another kettlebell, and then you find another one on sale. So then you buy or maybe you max out your, what you can do with that one size kettlebell. So then you buy one up. So like all of these things that I have been accumulated over time. The only time that I was really able to step away from the regular gym and start working out here was when I had the $1,000 to invest in my rack and my plates and my bar. And like once I was able to drop the money on that, then I was like, okay, now I have enough stuff that I can work out at home, and I don't need to go to a gym anymore.
I completely agree, but I think that one of the big factors with your equipment and with coming up with a home gym is having a spot for it, having a designated space to be able to go work out. And I have just like Paul, I have a home gym in my garage. Our garage is detached, so it's just outside the back door. So I have to like actually get up and go out, and then I'm in my gym, which is also my office. Most people are going to have a gym that shares a space, whether it's an office or a bedroom or living room or something like that. There's some way in which it's going to have to share space, which is totally fine. But the act for me of getting up and leaving my house, going to that shared space, or for Paul walking out of his living room into his garage, for Doug going down the steps into the basement. Now I'm in the space where I do the thing. And that's super helpful. I have a nice home gym with a lot of things. I still enjoy when I can going to an actual gym, but when I'm going to work out here, if it was just in the kitchen or and it's like, okay, I need to work out at some point in time today, it would be much harder for me to be consistent. But when I leave and I have a designated space, that makes it much easier for me to be consistent because I have to go there.
Absolutely. And so finding your space, talking with, roommates, your significant other, whoever it is, about what is going to be the best space for you to be able to do this. And you may not have it in some circumstances. You may be having to work out in the living room while the kids are taking a nap, or in between busy times of people being at the house, you might have to be working out in the living room. Whatever it is, you just got to find that designated space so you know where you're going to be and where you're going to be doing it, and have the equipment accessible, or within a couple steps to be able to go grab it. I think is the most important thing. It's really easy to walk by a space that isn't designated to be a gym, but you're supposed to be working out there. If the equipment isn't be able to see, and you're like, yeah, next time we'll move on to the next thing. But like anything, and we've said this a million times, but whatever you're doing, you've got to be consistent at it. So finding a place that you can be consistently diligent in what you're doing and your little workouts at home is going to be the best space for you to pick.
Yep. Yeah. Like we have a 2-car garage, and when we moved into this place, that was the discussion. It was like, okay, I think we can sacrifice leaving the cars outside so that we can have room to not only have a gym in here, but then also, be able to store the kayaks and the camping equipment and the kids' toys and stuff out here in the garage. And that would leave us enough room to have adequate workout space. And like my thing, I've probably said it on the podcast before, but like one of my rules for life is spend lavishly on health and fitness. And even if that means that you have to cut corners other places, like never don't be stingy with money when it comes to improving your health, because at the end of the day, that's really all you got. So setting up this space, like I was like, I'm gonna take this corner of this garage, and like this is gonna be the workout space. I bought mats, and I put down the mats, and I'm like, this is workout. This is all it's for. Nothing else goes here. Like this is what it is. And so it's worked for us so far.
We have a similar, like I said, I've got one, but Lacey has just started working out kind of last couple months, and she actually trains with Coach Meg, one of our coaches. And she obviously, we have 4 kids. If you're new to the podcast, our life is a rolling circus. And she has to try to fit workouts in around kids napping or, them playing outside. And so she's not really able to have a designated space because she needs to be able to hear if the kids wake up. And so she's got all of her weights and her bands tucked in behind a chair in the living room, and she works out in the kitchen floor usually. And she has done really well at being consistent. So it's not, you have to have this space, that's what typically works best. However, you can still be consistent as long as you're willing to put in the work, and you can be dedicated enough by having a shared space like the kitchen or the living room, if you've got kids that are napping, or other responsibilities that you've got to tend to in between your workout.
That's awesome. That's such good tips for any busy moms or parents out there too. I mean, it's so doable. You just have to be diligent about it, and good for Lacey for doing that. That's badass. Really awesome. Let's talk about some things setup wise that you may not think about when you first are maybe new to fitness or just never built a home gym. And the first things I can think about are when building a gym upstairs, you need to make sure that the floors are going to be, well, first of all, sturdy enough for you to be dropping any kind of weight on. So that is one thing that's probably really good to know, is if you were going to be able to drop a barbell from overhead that has any kind of weight on it before punching through the ground below you. Next thing I would think about upstairs is some kind of mat for sure. And I think that mat should probably go in any gym just for the sake of the safety for you, but it keeps your equipment a lot safer as well. Dropping it on accident on rubber mats is going to be a lot less detrimental than dropping it on concrete, or if you've got wooden or carpet floors, you could mess up. I think mats are probably one of the things that are overlooked and are skipped out on, but they just really bring the gym together for me.
Yeah. Oh, that brings me to something else that GetRx has that we got to see when we were down there. Was they have foam drop pads.
Oh, I did see those.
They're like a foot tall.
Yep.
You would generally see maybe lifting blocks, like for Olympic style lifting, guys lifting off the blocks, and they're usually made out of wood. But they have dense foam ones where you can drop a bar onto them, and it's going to absorb all of the force there. And so if you have a home gym, or for me, I live in a duplex, and on the other side of my garage wall is the neighbor's living room. So I don't want to be working at, or dropping plates or something at 6 a.m. or, which is not my style anyway, but
let's be real, Paul.
I have done it before. And then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, you know what? They're probably just getting out of bed. I probably shouldn't have done that. That was rude of me. But they have those high dense foam drop mats would probably be a great addition to your gym if you are on an upstairs level, or even you don't have a concrete subfloor. If you have plywood subfloor, that would be a great investment.
Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned your surroundings. That's really, really important. If you are in a duplex, or like a little condo area where you do have neighbors, or even
an apartment with people under you.
Yeah. Like, just think about those things and being respectful, and your flooring and matting can go a long way in minimizing that sound. But also, if you're trying to piss off your neighbors, go for it.
Get after it.
No mats, man. Send it.
No mats. Full send.
That's funny. What about a fan? How important is a fan when you guys are working out in the garage?
In my garage, it is extremely
necessity.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got 2 fans sitting right next to me right now. Yeah. I'm about to get a dang air conditioner too.
That's exactly what I'm about to buy for this summer, because my garage is just an old cinder block building, and we took the garage door out and have framed it up and stuff. And let me tell you, it is awesome. Like in spring and fall, when it's really chilly at night, and then it warms up a little bit during the day, because it stays a perfect cool temperature throughout the day in there. But once it starts getting into the high 80s and 90s, let me tell you, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and that sunbuck is still hot from the day before. You have got, all I've got right now is a fan, but I'm gonna have to get a dehumidifier. I keep a lot of my studying books and stuff, and so a cheap dehumidifier I think is a great thing that you can throw out there. But definitely a fan or an air conditioner or something like that is going to be crucial in keeping because let's be honest, making yourself go work out is difficult enough as it is. When you know that it's going to be 102 degrees and 105% humidity in your garage, the odds of you going out are even slimmer. So having that fan can maybe help you stay consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I prefer a hot, sweaty workout versus a cold workout. So working out in my garage gym in the dead of winter sucks too.
Yes.
My joints are a little creakier. It's harder to get moving. I would prefer it to be the 90, 95 degrees and sweaty and that kind of fun. But at the same time, having a little airflow definitely makes it a lot more manageable.
Absolutely.
You don't want your workout to get cut short because it's just too dang hot.
When it's in
the
the middle
line where you guys are, there's no You're
It's
just
not
getting
gonna
a
be
little
chilly.
breeze on you at 102 degrees. Like you're
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
you're still sweating your ass off. Like the air is just nice to have because, like, dude, the airflow to not airflow, you're talking about 20 to 30 degree difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that building.
Absolutely.
And if it's all brick, you're like in a pizza oven.
Yes,
Pretty much.
definitely
Logan
a pizza
oven.
The Logan oven.
But just circulation, just the air circulation is super important too. Like if it's a shared space and it doesn't have temperature control, just circulating that air and helping keep stuff from getting moldy is super helpful. So you shouldn't get too chilly.
Yeah, and the stink as well.
Yes,
Like,
100%.
the summertime stink of sweating in there and stuff.
Yep.
So that's get a high velocity fan. Get something that's going to get you some airflow. They're not that expensive. You don't have to go buy a freaking whatever they're called, the big ass fans or whatever they are. But like go get a really good shop fan or something like that from Home Depot, and you will be very, very happy you did. What are some other things that we need to talk about, like accessory wise? Oh, dude, do you guys have mirrors? Any of you guys have mirrors in your gym?
Man, I need
No,
some.
but I wish I did.
Yeah, I need some. I don't have any in
either.
there. Yeah, if I really need to check form or something like that, I'll video myself doing something and then I can
That's
watch
what I
it
do.
back. But I would like to have some big mirrors for my gym for sure, because it's super helpful, especially if you're. It doesn't matter what experience level you are. Mirrors are helpful, not just for checking yourself out. I may or may not do that consistently. However, to make sure that your form is somewhat decent and being able to, like, in the middle of a lift. I love our gym because it has in the corner, there's 3 racks, but one rack is in the corner. And so in that corner, there's a mirror in front of you and there's a mirror to the side. And so you're surrounded where I can glance and I can look to see how my form might be in a deadlift or a squat, and from straight ahead or from the side, I can kind of check that out. And mirrors are a absolute game changer if you're unsure of your form or if you want to make sure that it's good. Having those there are super helpful.
Yeah, and you want something full length that's going to run
Yes.
at least close to the floor and then high enough to where you can see your shoulders, hips, and ankles in the shot. Like you want to be able to see everything. And like Logan said, sometimes that's just setting up your phone to be able to record it and then watch it back. That's what I do, and it's good enough for me. But I can do a set, run back and watch the video, see where I need to make adjustments, and then adjust on the next set.
Absolutely. And you can they're inexpensive. You can get those pretty much. I'm probably Home Depot, Lowe's. I mean, anywhere, and you don't have to go buy these expensive glass ones. Just something that is. What's the specs for mirrors, Logan, in a regular gym?
24. It's either 22 or 24 inches from the floor, off the floor, because plates are like 20 inches, and so to keep the plate from like falling off the bottom rack and whacking the mirror and shattering it, they want it's 22 or 24 inches that you kind of want it off the floor, according to the NSCA. So obviously in your home gym, you can have a
do whatever you
floor
want,
mirror, whatever you want, but making sure that where you're
just
placing those, absolutely, your barbell might not slip and fall and smash your mirror, or dumbbells. If you're going to be like chucking dumbbells, like some sort of crazy workout in which you're just chucking your dumbbells around, you would want to make sure that your mirror's not in the spot where those things are going to bounce. There were so many names I wanted to drop right there. I just chose to keep my mouth shut. So just a crazy workout where you would be throwing dumbbells, make sure you keep your mirror out of the way.
I just had images of dodgeball, and he's like, "You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball." And Logan's just throwing dumbbells at people over there.
That's why nobody wants to come work out with me here in my garage. They're like, I'm not going to
absolutely not. Appreciate it, but I'm good. It's such a good movie. It just makes me want to go watch it. That's one of those. They don't make stuff like that anymore.
No.
Good movies like that, man.
So good. Dude, at the gym. Okay, I don't want to rabbit hole us too much, but at the gym this morning, I was talking with one of the old guys that Paul thinks I like to shower with, and he was talking about the movies that he was talking about an old Western that he watched from the 50s, and they have warning labels now on those old movies when you watch them on like Amazon and Netflix and stuff about like, it's like culturally outdated is like I can't remember there's initials where they like give you the little warning. It's not like TVMA, it's just culturally outdated so that you're not triggered by something you might see that was recorded in the 50s. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So anyway, that was just interesting.
Not surprising.
Side note, yes, but dodgeball would probably not go over well in 2023, I would think.
Well, like I saw Steve Carell said The Office, there's no way The Office would make it. Because he made one gay joke, and he's like, we would have been done. We would have been canceled instantly. Like I said, Oscar was gay. Like we would have been done. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. The world is way too soft with that. But back to home gyms. To wrap this up, you know, getting your perfectly curated gym is going to take time, y'all. I mean, like we're saying, don't rush into just buying everything and anything you can. Take some time. Start with the things that are going to be the most versatile pieces of equipment, things you can use anywhere and do a lot of things with, and start with the things that you really like, that you're going to do a lot, and you're going to create that routine and that consistency around. Enjoy that process of kind of making that space yours and making it exactly what you want it to be, and you kind of get to put your stamp on that, and no one else gets to do that. So that's kind of one of my favorite parts about having a home gym is it's yours. You get to make it exactly what you want, and
you don't have
that's
to wait
right
for
there.
Equipment to become available.
Yeah, you might, and thank God it's not COVID times because we'd really be waiting for equipment. But all in all, that's going to promote positive, healthy environment and going to make working out a lot more fun. Y'all, I hope this was helpful. You guys got some tips about building your current or maybe future home gym. And until next time, we'll catch you later.